welcome to Leo's English Lounge. We're so glad you're here with us today.
We are. Our goal is to help you improve your English listening skills with interesting topics. And today, we're talking about something I absolutely love, hiking.
Me too. The fresh air, the beautiful views, it's just an amazing experience. But if you're new to it, there are a few common mistakes you'll want to avoid.
So I'm sure many of you have seen those incredible photos from the top of a mountain and thought, I want to do that. Oh, for sure. But getting from dreaming about that view to actually seeing it safely, well, that takes a little bit of preparation. So today, we're going to break down everything you need to know.
We've organized our advice into 4 main parts, or what we call the 4 pillars of smart hiking. That's right. First, we'll talk about getting your mind ready. Then we'll cover what to put in your backpack. After that, we'll discuss what to do on the trail. And finally, we'll touch on how to be a good member of the hiking community.
Okay, let's start with pillar number 1, preparing your mind.
This is so important. I always say that before you even think about your boots or your jacket, you have to prepare your brain. It's truly the most important piece of equipment you have.
This chart shows the biggest mistake new hikers make. They choose a trail that is just way too difficult for them.
Exactly. You can see the big difference between the hiker's ability and what the trail demands. That gap is where problems happen. It's so easy to think, oh, I can do that. But being honest with yourself about your fitness is the first step to staying safe.
Has this thought ever crossed your mind? You're tired, maybe the weather is getting bad, but you think, I've already walked for 3 hours. I have to keep going. Oh, definitely. This is a classic mental trap. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. It means you make a bad decision because you've already invested time or energy. It's like continuing to watch a terrible movie just because you're already halfway through. So, we need to change how we think about success when we're hiking. Pushing forward no matter what isn't smart.
Right. The smart decision is knowing when to stop and turn around. Turning back doesn't mean you failed. It means you were smart enough to keep yourself safe. Remember, the mountain will always be there for you to try again another day.
So to help you prepare your mind, here's a quick checklist. First, research your trail. Know how long it is and how high it goes.
Yes, and always check the weather right before you leave, not the day before. Be honest about your own limits. And if you're hiking with friends, make sure everyone is comfortable with a plan. You're a team, so you have to work together.
Okay, moving on to our second pillar, preparing your pack. Your mind is ready, so now let's think about your gear.
And the goal here is pretty simple. Pack smart, not heavy. This is another area where a lot of beginners make mistakes.
So I want you to think for a second. What do you usually put in your backpack for a day out?
Yeah, is it filled with things you actually need? Or is it full of just-in-case things that are really just making your bag heavy?
When you buy hiking gear, please don't just buy the most expensive thing or whatever is popular on social media.
That's great advice. It's a 3-step process. First, think about what you actually need for your hike. A walk in a local park needs different gear than a big mountain hike. Then, do some research. And finally, choose what's best for you, your body, and your budget.
And what happens if you overpack? Well, your bag could weigh something like this, 18 kilograms. That's about 40 pounds.
Wow. Carrying all that extra weight just makes you tired and slow. And when you're tired, you're more likely to make a mistake or get injured. The goal is to bring only what you need.
Another common gear mistake is wearing too many clothes. When you start walking, you should actually feel a little bit cold. That's right, because your body will warm up very quickly as you move. If you wear too much, you'll sweat a lot. Then, when you stop for a break, that sweat will make you feel really, really cold. So when you stop to rest, that's the time to put on your warm jacket. All right, let's talk about pillar number 3, skills. You've got the right mindset, you've got the right gear, but what happens if you can't find the trail?
This is when having the right skills becomes so important. It can make all the difference.
Let's talk about one of the most important tools for navigation, an offline map. What is that? Well, it's a map you download to your phone before you go hiking.
And here's why it's so great. It uses your phone's GPS to show you where you are, even if you have no internet or cell phone service. I think every hiker should have one. It's a must-have for safety.
Because let's be honest, this is what your phone usually looks like in the mountains. No signal.
Exactly. And if you're only using a regular online map, it will just be a blank screen. At that point, you're lost.
But if you have an offline map, this is what you'll see. A little blue dot that says, you are here. It's so reassuring to see that. It can turn a scary situation into just a small problem. It gives you confidence and keeps you safe. But what if you do get truly lost? There are some very important rules to follow. First and most important, stop. Just stop walking.
I know your first instinct might be to panic and walk around to find the trail, but that's the worst thing to do. If you stay in one place, it's much easier for rescue teams to find you. And another thing, never try to go straight down into a deep valley. It's often very dangerous.
Here's a quick bonus tip. Sometimes on steep trails, you'll find a rope. It's very dangerous to trust this rope with all of your weight. Yeah, you just don't know how old it is or if it's secure. The smart way to use it is like a handrail on a staircase. Use it for a little extra balance, but make sure your feet are doing most of the work. Okay, on to our final pillar, community. When you're hiking, you're not just alone with nature. You're sharing the space with other people.
That's a great point. And whether you're on the trail or staying in a mountain hut, there are a few simple rules of etiquette or good manners that everyone should follow.
If you ever stay in a mountain hut, you'll see why being quiet is so important. People are on very different schedules. Some hikers go to bed at 8 p.m.
And others are waking up at 4 a.m. to see the sunrise. So if you're loud late at night or very early in the morning, you're definitely going to bother someone who is trying to sleep.
It all comes down to just being considerate of others. Here are a few tips. Try to pack most of your bag the night before so you're not making lots of noise in the morning. Oh, and this is a big one. Use the red light on your headlamp at night. It's much easier on everyone's eyes. And please, try not to shine your bright light directly in anyone's face while they're sleeping. So, if there's one main idea to take away from our chat today, it's this. Smart hiking is not about conquering a mountain. It's about respecting nature. It's an experience that you prepare for so you can enjoy it safely.
So now you have a great foundation for planning safe and amazing hiking trips. The only question is, where will you go next?
I love that. And before we go, we always like to end with a couple of questions. My question for you today is, what is one small piece of gear that you think makes a big difference on a hike? For me, it's a good pair of wool socks. They keep my feet comfortable and dry, which makes the whole day better.
That's a great one. My question is, what is your favorite way to prepare your mind before a big hike? For me, I love looking at maps the night before. It gets me excited and helps me visualize the trails so I feel more confident.
So now we invite you to think about these questions. What are your answers? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks so much for joining us at Leo's English Lounge. Happy hiking!